In today's video, we will look at problems on fluid mechanics that reflect important concepts on fluid mechanics. These concepts include Bernoulli's theorem, Archimedes' principle, and continuity equation. Problem 1. 1/4 of a body of a person floating in the sea is above the waterline. Taking the human body density to be 0.98 gram per cubic cm, find the density of the seawater. So this is a schematic diagram. So that is the seawater, and this person is floating on it. Let's label the free body diagram. So first of all, you have the weight of this person. Weight equals to the mass of the person times gravitational acceleration. And then of course you have the buoyancy, or the buoyant force, Fb. Because the person is floating, the two forces would balance each other out. So the buoyant force equals the weight of the person. This is purely from Newton's second law, which states the net force equals mass times acceleration, in this case the mass of the person. And if the acceleration is 0, because the person is floating, then the net force is 0, leading to that equation. Now comes the Archimedes principle. Archimedes' principle states the buoyant force equals the weight of the water displaced. The person is obviously floating, so his body or her body would displace certain amount of water, and the weight of that water displaced equals the buoyant force. So that is Archimedes' principle. So now let's equate these two terms. You get the weight of the water displaced equals the weight of the person. As you can see, g goes away, and the left-hand side represents the mass of the water displaced. So let's calculate that. The mass of the water displaced equals the density of water times the volume of the water displaced. However, the volume of the water displaced must be the same as the volume of the person beneath the water level. So we write volume of the person below the water surface. And that equals the mass of the person. The mass of the person is the density of that person times the volume, the entire volume of that person. Let's call it Vp. What about this quantity, the volume of the person below the water surface? Now we are told that 1/4 of the body of the person floating in the sea is above the water line. So 3/4 of the body is below the water line. So the volume of the person below the water surface has got to be 3/4 of the entire volume of the person. So we can substitute this term with 3/4 the volume of the person. Now you see, this goes away, and you can calculate the density of the seawater if you know the density of the human body, which is 0.98. Solving for the density of the seawater, you get the density of the seawater is 4/3 times the density of the person. So since we know the density of the person is 0.98, the unit is of course gram per cubic cm, the density of seawater becomes approximately 1.31 grams per cubic centimeter. And that's the answer. Problem 2. Figure below shows a venturimeter used to measure the flow speed of a fluid in a pipe. If the fluid is fresh water, that means that fluid is fresh water. The cross-sectional areas are 65 cm squared in the pipe. The capital A is 65 cm squared and 35 cm squared in the throat. So little a is 35 cm squared. And the pressure is 60 kilopascals here and 45 kilopascals there in the throat. Find the volume rate of water flow in a unit of cubic meter per second. Let's try to understand the setup. The fluid, or in this case, fresh water, is moving in that direction. So here, the area, the cross-sectional area is larger than the cross-sectional area there. So that means the speed, according to continuity equation, the speed there is smaller than the speed at the throat. So you can write A is greater than little a, capital V is less than U. A consequence from continuity equation that says capital A times V equals little a times little u. The product of these terms give you the flow rate in a unit of cubic meter per second, which is what we want to find finally. Since the speed here is less than the speed over there, the pressure there is greater than the pressure at the throat. So we write PA is greater than P little a. This is from the so-called Bernoulli's theorem. What that means is the push here will be greater than the push there, resulting in a height difference, h, with the level at the pipe is lower than the level at the throat. So let's write Bernoulli's equation. It says the pressure at the pipe, PA, plus half times the density of the fresh water times the speed at the pipe squared equals the pressure at the throat, P little a, plus half times the density of fresh water times the square of the speed at the throat. So that is the Bernoulli's theorem applied to the system. Let's assume that PA minus P capital A is delta P. Now we know this delta P is a negative number, since P capital A is greater than P little a. First, we are going to arrive at an expression for capital V in terms of all the other variables, and then use that to solve the problem. Let's rearrange this Bernoulli's equation a little bit. You have half rho V squared minus half rho U squared equals P little a minus P capital A, which we know to be delta P. So you can write that as delta P. Rewriting it further, you get V squared minus U squared equals 2 delta P over rho. Again, rho is the density of the fresh water. Since from the equation of continuity, little u equals capital A capital V over little a, let's substitute this in here. If you do that, you get V squared minus A squared V squared over A squared equals 2 delta P over rho. Let's factor out the V squared, so you get 1 minus A squared over little a squared equals 2 delta P over rho. The quantity in the bracket can be written like that. And now you can solve for capital V. So capital V equals 2 delta P A squared over rho little a squared minus capital A squared, and the whole thing square root. You notice that although this is a negative number, this is also a negative number, resulting in a positive argument for the radical sign. In order to calculate the volume flow rate, you need to have a numerical value for capital V and multiply that with capital A, which we already know. So let's calculate the speed at the pipe. So 2 times the pressure difference is given to be 45 kilopascal minus 60 kilopascal. So it's minus 15 kilopascal. Convert that into pascal, so it becomes 15,000 pascal. Multiply A squared. So A is the cross-sectional area of the throat. So in this case it's 35 cm squared. So let's leave that as 35 cm squared. So 35 square. Divide by rho. Rho is the density of the fresh water. Density of fresh water is 1000 kg per cubic meter times A squared minus capital A squared. So 35 squared minus 65 squared. Now because I did not change the unit of cm squared into meter squared, the denominator has a similar unit, so the conversion factor would just cancel out. And don't forget to take the square root, which will give you a numerical answer of 3.5 meter per second. Now multiplying that V, 3.5 meter per second, with capital A, which we know to be 65 cm squared, but now you have to convert that into meter squared by multiplying it with a factor of 10 to the power minus 4, you will get the flow rate in the unit of meter cube per second. And it turns out to be about 2.28 times 10 to the power minus 2 cubic meter per second. And that's the answer. Problem 3. A marble ball of radius 3 centimeters sits at the bottom of a container of liquid with density 1.05 gram per cubic cm. The normal force on the ball from the container's lower surface has a magnitude of 0.1 newtons. Calculate the mass of the ball. So that is the liquid, and you have a ball right there. Let's look at the free body diagram. You have the normal force, capital N. We know what that is, 0.1 newtons. And of course you have the weight of that ball, let's call it capital W. And then you also have a buoyant force upward due to this liquid in which the ball is sitting. Since the ball is stationary, the net force is 0. That means the upward normal force plus the upward buoyant force equals the downward weight. So let's calculate the buoyant force. According to Archimedes' principle, the buoyant force equals the weight of the liquid displaced by this ball. So the mass of the liquid displaced times gravity. The mass of the liquid displaced equals the density of the liquid times the volume of the liquid displaced. In this case must be the same as the volume of the ball times g. Now let's calculate the weight of that ball. The weight of the ball equals the mass of the ball times gravitational acceleration g. This is what we want to determine. So putting everything together in this equation, N is 0.1 Newton plus the buoyant force equals that, the density of the liquid, the volume of the ball times 9.81 equals W, which is the mass of the ball we want to determine times 9.81. It becomes 0.1 plus the density of the liquid is that. Let's be careful with the unit conversion. 1.05 gram into kg, 10 to the power minus 3, divided by cm cubed to meter cube, 10 to the power minus 6. So I have changed the unit for this density from gram to cm cube to kg per meter cube. Now the volume of the ball is 4/3 times pi times the cube of the radius. Radius is 3 cm, so 0.03 meter cube, times g equals the mass of the ball times g, where g can be taken to be 9.81 meter per second squared. You see, we know everything in this equation except for the mass of the ball, and that can be determined. Solving for MB, you get MB to be 0.129 kg, or about 129 grams. And that solves the problem. Thank you for watching.